What is up? Welcome to another episode of the Big Tuddies Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your boy Sam. We're hanging out with Tony and Poppy Latte. Week 4 is in the books, boys. It is early morning here. We've got the Monday Night Football deal all in as well. Hey, what a fucking weekend.
Woo, yeah. A little roller coaster this week, huh, boys?
Latte's like me. We feel great. I don't know about you.
Stop laughing. You know why I can't stop laughing? Teams mismanaging their money. The Saints really paid Derek Carr, and the Giants really paid Daniel Jones.
A lot of money.
What was
I got
tonight?
The biggest one for me. How about paying somebody $200 million guaranteed and they just call out sick?
Yeah, I'm just not going to show up to work. It's cool.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm just not. I got a boo-boo.
Unreal.
First contract of its kind ever, and I'm just going to call out sick.
But when you get paid that much, that's it. You can now be a diva, right? What are they going to do? Not pay you?
Yeah, it's fully guaranteed, Sammer. What are they going to do?
Hey, we've all been there. We've all had that job where they decided, hey, I'm going to put you on salary. Oh, yeah, that's great. Cool. And in your head, you're like, these motherfuckers done fucked up because I'm not coming in at 8:30 anymore. Oh, man, I had to go do this. Man, I got to go do that.
Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
I was working 12-hour days.
Once you hit that salary mode at your job, that's it. The early, I'm going to cram in a couple extra hours. Or I'm going to work a couple extra. Nah, that goes away. Now you cut hours. Now you find ways to work less. That's what's happening. I appreciate it. I can't hate on that. I appreciate it.
Speaking of salary, what is Daniel Jones' salary? I would love to know. What's he getting paid?
$160 million.
I was going to say he's getting a grip. He's getting a little grip.
No, I looked it up before I tweeted it out last night. He's getting $160 million. To do that, I would have done that for a cool $10 million. No problem.
Hey,
I would have easily done that.
Right?
Did you see Dable throw the tablet at him? There's bro, he was just like, fuck, bro.
You know how many fantasy owners are throwing tablets watching that game last night if they played that guy?
There is some problems around the nation right now. Like, there's a couple teams really having a hard time. And I hope people are paying attention, too, because this is what stinks about fantasy, especially, as a podcast. No one knew. Like, Amari Cooper was somebody I thought was going to have a big week. And then big old bum Deshaun decides to throw a wrench and everything right at the last minute and screw their whole offense for the week. Like, hey, man, we planned on having you. Oh, well, you've been medically cleared. What do you mean you don't want to play? And then, Derek Carr ends up playing. We thought it was going to be, gunslinger Jameis out there throwing picks, and Olave was going to have a couple bombs, and then
that happened. Jameis did throw a pick. That actually happened.
Jameis stat line. For those of you who are curious, 0 for 1 interception, and that was it. That's all she wrote.
I mean, we expected that, but we also expected a couple to connect, and didn't expect Carr to play. And then when he did. Wow.
Listen, Tony, I tried to warn you. All right, you asked me my opinion on that show we did, and I told you do not play anybody on the Saints offense. And you said, no, Olave is a pro. He's a stud. Yeah, guy had 1 catch for 4 yards. Okay,
because the whole game was check down city, short pass. Like, it was.
That's what they've been doing.
It
didn't matter if his arm didn't hurt.
Sammer tried to tell you. You know why? Because that's what they've been doing. 1 and 2, they were facing a dog defense. Defense this week.
Dog. Got like 6 Pro Bowl corners. Got 3 Pro Bowl safeties. I mean, Tony, this reminds me a lot of Steel Curtain.
If they can make an all-pro team defense, just team, it would just be all-pro. The team.
They'd all have pewter and red on. They wouldn't even have to come up with an all-pro uniform. They would just already have it for the NFC side, at least. Yeah.
Red.
And the team, something, little hiccup there. Godwin stepped up. I mean, the team did what they had to do, and they look great, man. I'm little hometown bias, but I'm really enjoying this, man. I'm loving what's going on in Tampa, and they got a pretty decent lead after 4 weeks in the division, right?
3-1. We're 3-1. Everybody else is 2-2, and then the Panthers with their little itty bitty quarterback are 0-4.
And the Bucks are 1-0 in the division.
1-0 in the division.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah. So we got one there.
Since we broached the subject unbiasedly. I said it on last night's Loose Cannons podcast show. Shout out to Loose Cannons, Sammer. We do a Buccaneer podcast as well, guys. It might have been a blessing in disguise. We don't wish injury on anybody, especially Buccaneers. But Mike pulling up with that hammy may have been a blessing in disguise because we've been saying it, right? Tony, we've talked about it. We've done the pod before the pod. We've done the pod in the car. We've done the podcast everywhere, bro. Where has Chris Godwin been? It's been a little concerning. I mean, his ADP was higher than Mike's by about 2 rounds, right? He was going about the 5th round. Mike was going between, around the 7th, end of the 6th, 7th turn. Where has Chris Godwin been? And he had a game. So it forced Baker to go to him. Mike is a hell of a security blanket. You know what I mean? So not having that.
That's what I was going to say. I'm not going to blame anybody, first year.
Mike.
I'd be shooting for the 6'5" target too,
But I said it too before. I said that this is a game, regardless of Mike being injured or not, that I think they're going to target Chris Godwin. He plays well historically in New Orleans. So I'm happy for the Chris Godwin owners out there. Very sad for the Mike Evans owners like myself.
Me too.
I got shared.
Basically, and so that kind of leads into the injury news that we got to discuss. It seems like everybody on my team, Tony, decided to get injured in the first quarter. And then later on, we'll talk about what happened opposing me, which would be the tops, just the tops. We just call it the tops category in that quick case.
Same here. I got the wonderful fantasy scenario this week of having the 2nd highest score in the league this week, but facing the highest.
Always hate
Love that shit.
Always.
Tony, I lost by 115, okay?
Whoa!
That's never happened in my entire life.
And
I've dropped double hundos a couple of times, but I
feel like we had a little break the last few weeks, and then this week the injuries just stacked up.
Tony, you don't understand. This guy, they call him Bucks Khalid. Like, all he does is win.
All I do is win.
Lost by 115. I don't know. This is breaking news, major. Please roll into the injuries.
No, this is the perfect storm.
May as well just start with Mike. Yeah. Obviously, the hammy. We talked about it. They've got a week 5 bye, so they said it's not serious. He should be fine week 6 to come back.
We also heard that with our sources that Mike will be back. It was slight. But we were destroying the Saints so bad, and they couldn't move the ball. We didn't need Mike, so they're just rest up, big guy. Get 2 weeks off.
Yeah, man.
Mike should be back.
Take it easy. Kick your feet up. Couple other guys, my QB for my squad, Kenny Pickett, got his knee banged up. Definitely some argument as to whether or not Matt Canada should be tarred and feathered. But same thing. They probably will rest him week 5 if it's still sore. We've got a week 6 bye, so that give him 2 weeks to rest up and get back out there. Justin Herbert broke a finger, non-throwing hand on Sunday. It was gnarly, man. Did you see the nail?
I didn't see the nail. I just saw he got stepped on it because I was watching Red Zone, so I didn't see it. Was it nasty? Yeah,
the nail's all gnarled up, and that sucks. It's not necessarily it doesn't affect his throwing hand, but we've seen this with Herbert before when he does have a lingering ailment. We've seen it affect his play. It's going to make it harder for him to secure the ball. There's a couple little nuances.
Handoffs, quarterback sneaks. He's going to be protecting that hand, bro. You saw it in the game when they went for 4th down. He can't really push the ball over and stuff because your hand is literally fucked up.
It also kind of cuts down your time in the pocket too. Because once it starts to collapse, you don't really have the strength to trap the ball yourself and keep it safe. So he's either got to get rid of it or he's got to go down. We'll see. I don't really know what kind of fracture we're talking about, whether this thing snapped in half and turned backwards, or if it's just one little hairline fracture in a digit. But their offense is still doing well. I don't know how much we really need to worry. Moving on.
One quick note there, because he is my quarterback. I was going to say, his offensive coordinator was Dak Prescott's offensive coordinator last season, who also went through, I believe, a hand issue. And so they kind of were able to scheme around that, play around it. I know that different guys, different quarterback, yada, yada, but it's something to note. They have a bye week this week as well, so who knows? This list that we're going through, by the way, it looks just like my starting unit. Go ahead, Tony.
I was going to say Sammer, Javonte Williams.
Another guy.
Fucking sucks, man. I mean, we were waiting for this breakout game, and I just don't know what to think anymore, man. Sometimes I get these guys that you have that they just can't stay healthy. You just keep hoping, and it's just disappointment after disappointment. What do you do?
I'm done with him. I'm done with him.
I mean, it's so hard to try and continue to put him in your roster. I still believe that's a hip flexor. He's not expected to miss much time, but there's, we're going to talk about waivers a little later. There's a younger guy there that may get some work, and if he ends up stepping up to the task, he may end up finishing the season. We'll see. Devontae Adams, shoulder, fell on it pretty hard during the game. Did come back and play. So it is apparently a pain tolerance issue. So did you hear they said he can play through the pain. He probably will. Did you hear his quote? Before the game or after the injury?
After the game, Devontae Adams, his quote after the game.
I'm guessing it probably had something to do around the realm of when he called everybody out the week before. No. Now he really can't.
No. What a dog.
Well, what's up?
He literally said, it hurt really bad. I had to nut up, so I did. What? Like I'm trading for Devontae Adams in every league immediately. I need dogs like that.
He kind of had to because he came out and said that this team needs to do more. We've got to do better. We've got to coach better. We've got to play better. We've got to practice harder. You really can't come out with a statement like that and then not come out and play through an injury that you're cleared for. It's an integrity thing. And
he's being honest too. We all got to be honest. That team, they're not moving the ball unless it's Devontae Adams, right? Josh Jacobs is a dog, but
he looked better. He looked better. For Josh Jacobs owners, there's hope. The schedule's going to get easier, and Josh Jacobs did look better. Sam, come on.
But right now, though, who's the cleared?
It's Devontae Adams.
He's the gasoline to that motor. It just doesn't work without him right now. And he's a dog.
Can we talk? Like we're on the subject of the Raiders. Can we talk about like Bill Belichick's legacy and without Tom Brady and like Jacoby Myers is in New England, doesn't do anything, and then he goes to the Raiders and magically he's this amazing receiver. What's the deal? What's the deal, Bill?
He's a defensive genius.
He is that,
which is going to really be put to the test here because that's another. I mean, a little side note to the injuries here. I mean. You got Judon went down. Oof. Torn tendon in his bicep. Oof. Supposed to be extended time. That's going to put a pretty big dent in their defense. And same game, they just lost their first round rookie corner. So, and they've lost all the Joneses, I think. I think there's some guys, working in and out. But yeah,
they've lost all hope in New England, Tony. All right.
All of it.
Like, it's over. All right. Finally, those of us who've been waiting for many years, it is finally over. Like
I've been waiting.
Me.
And cheers to the New England Patriots and dominating for 8,000 years. But listen, it is finally over. All right, and enjoy that Dunkin' Donuts diarrhea in a bottle there, buddy.
This is delicious. And can y'all start making these in bigger bottles, or just send me a flat of these because I'm. That
is a shitstorm an hour after you're done drinking.
That's going to come right out of your butthole.
I don't know what kind of weak system you have, but I can drink 4 of these a day and I'm fine.
That's not even like cow milk. That's like bull milk. No, I don't even know what's in there, dude. There's something wrong with those, okay?
I got something from
milk from a virgin goat.
I got something for both of you guys because be careful what you wish for, right? Because the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. We're ushering out the Patriots. We're ushering in the Swifties
Buccaneers
with Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes' wife and all that noise because it doesn't look like they're going anywhere for a while.
No, hey, listen.
Now the Swifties are
no,
here.
stop.
Can I actually get in though? Because I have been
stop
dealing
it, Tony.
with the Patriots for years.
No. They've force-fed me the Swiftie nonsense all weekend long. I refuse to let it infiltrate this show. I know I'm not the fantasy guru, but I refuse to let it infiltrate this show. You want to watch this? You know what? Go watch TMZ if you care so much about Swifties. I'm sorry. I don't care what you think, Tony. Latte, I know you love her.
Oh, I wasn't going to talk about Swiftie. I'm talking about the years I've had to endure all the Patriots fans talking about Tom Brady and Bill and this and that, and they still, to this day, will not admit you guys are done. Like,
they're done.
Oh,
no.
Juju Smith-Schuster. What?
No, they've admitted.
That's old news for us. You guys are done.
They're done.
Take a back seat. You had your 20 years.
20. Jesus.
There is nothing that can be compared to the run of the Patriots fan over the last 20-something years.
No.
It's unequivocal. I've been jealous of them since it begun. I said, could you just imagine being a fan of a team that is guaranteed to win the division every single year?
The Colts. The Colts.
Not guaranteed.
No, they were guaranteed for the majority of those 20 years. They were gonna win that division.
Imagine being knocking at the door in the end.
Imagine being that spoiled though. Like every single year, we are gonna be 1, 2, or 3 seed in the AFC. Every single time, dude. That is what we're over here. Bucks fans, Steelers fans, Browns fans. Like, we never gonna even get to 8 wins.
Hey, the only argument that I had at the barbershop, I'm a barber, guys. You know, people talk shit at barbershops. It's what we do, and people would clown me left and right. You're a Bucks fan.
If you're local, go see him too. He'll get you crispy.
Thank you. But the only defense I had, literally, it was the only built-in defense I had was, it must be boring to be a Patriots fan. And they'd look at me like I was retarded. Like, what? Must be boring.
It was. I agree.
The season is just a formality. You're going to the playoffs. Why even do it?
And a bunch of paper fans too, man. I mean, I don't know how many times I'd gone to, go to the sports bar to watch the game, and there's 47 women with Edelman jerseys on, and you just ask them simple football question. Got no idea. They just think Edelman's cute, and they're there making a bunch of noise. And I'm not saying there's not good fans out there, but
we saw him here.
A lot of people just jumping on the wagon.
Hey, we saw here in Tampa. We saw the split Tampa Patriots bedazzled jersey. Tommy, let's go fucking Tommy! It's like, oh my God. Tommy. All right, guys, moving on to the next injury because we're way off topic.
I kind of wish we would have seen the Tom Brady Patriots versus the current Bills and Dolphins. Like, that would have been fun. But anyway,
amazing.
Yeah, a couple more injuries real quick.
Couldn't beat those Miami Dolphins back then most of the time. That was like the team that gave him trouble.
Let's get back on track.
Back on track.
All right, so T. Higgins busted a rib, undisclosed time. We don't know. Not quite sure how serious that is. Pat Freiermuth also with a hammy, looking like 2 to 3 weeks. And then, we talked a little bit about the New England defense. Also of note, Buffalo defense, they did lose, unfortunately, Tre'Davious White.
Yeah, that sucks.
Achilles.
That sucks.
So he's out. That's some big shoes to fill for them. Not that they're not going to be okay, but that hurts.
Yes,
all right. Speaking of not being okay,
that was a pretty big list. But
speaking of not being okay, Tony, let's talk about the tops and flops. Now, probably my favorite segment, only because, who doesn't like tops and floppies and all, it's a lot of fun, Works out with the big Tuddies. But before we go into that, let me remind you guys, if you are enjoying it so far and everything else that we do on this channel, hit the like button and smash the subscribe button if you are new. Tony, Latte, tops and flops, week 4, who shined and who absolutely disappointed for you guys?
You want to go first? You go first? You want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, I can go first. Starting with tops. Guy that did it to me this week and cost me the dub. Stephon Diggs. Hell of a game. Supposed to be, challenging game. Dolphins are beatable. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of glad to see it. I had said earlier in the week, Sammer and I had the podcast talking about how if they came out and smashed the Bills, it was pretty much AFC on lock. But Diggs came out, caught 6 for 7, went 120 and 3 tutties. That's one tutty every 40 yards.
Yeah, that's the only guy who showed up for my team. So I'm glad that you gave him his flowers, because that's basically all the points I scored this week. Thank you for reminding me, Tony. Tony, you've just been hurting me the entire episode. I'm sorry to put in there, okay?
It was a rough week, man. It was definitely, if you look at everyone's leagues, there's a very dynamic position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as you want my tops?
I love your tops.
Just your top.
So I'm gonna go with a guy that I faced this week. Like Sammer, it's just been it was
in the water.
Frustrating week. I had to go against, and funny story, I have stayed away from this guy for the last 2 seasons because he absolutely burned me so bad 3 years ago that I wanted no part of it. I didn't want any part of that roller coaster. And damn it, for the last 2 seasons, he's been incredible since he got traded. I'm going with CMC. I faced him this week. 20 attempts for 106 yards rushing, 3 rushing touchdowns, 7 receptions for 71 yards, and a receiving touchdown. That's 4 touchdowns, 4 tutties. This guy is an absolute cheat code. He is a cheat code. As it relates to fantasy football, he is a cheat code. And everyone who took him 3rd overall or 2nd overall or 4th overall, it's like Anchorman. We are all laughing because everyone took Justin Jefferson, everyone took Jamar Chase, and whoever got CMC that fell to him, holy crap. It's just not fair. 45 points. 45 points.
2 positions in one. That's what you get with C-Mac year in, year out. If he's healthy, I mean, he is just if he didn't have an injury history, I would question if he's actually human. The dude is insane. I think it was last week I was watching a replay. It was a play where I think it was supposed to be right up the gut, and he had to bounce to the outside, and it was like it was like a ladder drill. He had his left tackle. He's moving his legs, and you know how some guys roll like a quarter in between their knuckles?
Yeah.
That's what CMC's legs did in between the legs of like 2 or 3 linemen, and never touched them. And then just bounced all the way to the outside, took off, and got another, 15, 20 yards. He's an animal, dude. He's definitely solidifying a position on the running back Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
I would have never thought that he was going to go from what he was with the Carolina Panthers. I guess maybe I should have.
That offense, dude.
They have no idea. They have no idea what they're doing, and they go over there, and he just because he's always been hurt.
Yeah.
Right. He's always injured, so he's always kind of gone through those ups and downs where he's never been. But these guys, I think, the fact that he never gets tackled, it's like he just steps out of bounds almost every single play now. And when he
makes
does get
the
tackled,
right decision every time.
And they're blocking around him. They just protect him. It's like you have. I don't know how to explain it, but you guys need.
The thing is, Sam, this offense, right? We've always talked about it. We've always, everyone in the NFL, right? You look from afar and you're like, be so cool if Shanahan was my head coach. It's such a good offense. It's so creative. People are running wide open. It's just so much fun to watch. So that's what you're seeing is in Carolina, they were just using him like a battering ram. And it's like, just run up the gut, bounce, do something magical all on your own. He's getting schemed open here, man. He's the zone run. It's just a beautiful thing to see. It's insane.
I would want Shanahan as my OC, not as my head coach, because for whatever reason, the last 3 seasons, they've had an amazing offense, and their defensive coordinators have become head coaches elsewhere because of how good their defense has been, and yet they haven't made it to the Super Bowl.
Stop it. Shut your mouth, Shimmer. You should know. Bro, they were playing with Josh Johnson last year. They would have beat the Eagles if they had Brock Purdy, bro.
I don't know, man.
Quarterbacks hurt, bro. He went to the Super Bowl with Jimmy G. What?
Hey, I would have put – Listen. I would have put CMC back there at quarterback and be like, "Hey, yeah, that's that. Why not? That would have been way better than asking Josh Johnson to throw the ball."
They should have done like they did with Ronnie Brown like 12 years ago when they busted
out. Wildcat.
The Wildcat the entire game, bro.
Imagine if you put Debo and CMC in the backfield and nobody knows who's actually going to run the ball, and you teach them how to run the freaking option.
Are you an OC, Sammer?
I mean, think about it. Right. Wildcat with CMC? With the pitch available to either one of those guys. Take the handoff.
And then you throw Elijah in there for pass protection or the pass option. He's a good pass catcher.
You don't need that.
Still Kittle.
Put Kittle in the background. Imagine you got CMC taking the shotgun snap, and on either side of him is Kittle
and Debo.
All right?
It's like we just opened up a whole lot of cap space.
And they can run RPO to either one of those guys, right? And then he can hand off or not hand off. He can make a decision. And whoever ends up with the ball is getting positive yardage. You never need to pass the ball. I just gave them the absolute recipe now. If somehow Brock Purdy goes down again.
Run the triple option with CMC at quarterback.
Go old school Notre Dame, Navy, Air Force offense.
Navy.
I watched Georgia Tech do this to the extent of 300-plus yards against Florida State one time, and it worked. They didn't pass the ball once.
I saw it against the Canes. It was pathetic.
Yeah, there it is right there. Cheat code, man.
Sammer, we just talked about it the earlier episode this week, with the running backs in Miami. Where do you think McDaniel got it from? He's the guy that knows how to scheme them open, knows how to give his guys space. Not that C-Mac is that fast, but it doesn't matter. He doesn't have to be that fast.
And speaking of McDaniel, how about that running back with Miami? Got to give him some of his flowers. Yeah.
He goes,
over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns again. Yeah. And I know they lost, but dude looks like he belongs, man. And then you guys mentioned all these tops, and I have to give you guys.
Got some flops.
Yeah. Well, we're going to do flops, but I have to mention, because this is hilarious to me, the team that I played had CMC. Okay, that running back from the Rams, Williams. All right, he had almost 30 points. Brandon Ayuk, okay. Nakua, who also went over 30 points. Andrews, 25 points. Montgomery, 35 points. I mean, this is who I faced, okay? And so here's what's funny. If I would have played every person I drafted and on my team, I would have lost by 75 points. Which leads us into the next part of this segment, which is the flops of the week, guys.
You're like, my entire team, including my bench, wanted to beat this guy.
My entire team, other than Stephon Diggs, is my flops for the week. Okay, all of them. Amazing. I don't care. All of them.
That's so good.
What about Matt Gay? Did he? No.
I believe Matt Gay got me a nice. Let me see.
Is he your scoring leader?
Matt Gay got me 0. Oh, yeah, he was my second highest scorer with 0 points. Yep. So I can't say he's a flop. He gave me his best.
All right, I'm going with my flop.
It'll get better next week.
I'm going with my flop. And similar situation to Detroit, right? Like, what the hell? You mentioned Montgomery. I don't understand the Jahmyr Gibbs thing. I really don't understand. And the worst thing is they're not going to stop doing it. Tony, Sam, they're not going to stop that split or that share that they have the way they're doing it because they're winning. It's working. And they don't give a shit about our fantasy teams. It's just the way
25 points, though. I'm happy for Montgomery owners.
For Montgomery owners, yeah. But I'm saying, like, people that are complaining about Gibbs because it's gonna tie into my flop. My flop this week, I've waited since week 1. It was time. Got plenty of rest. Was close to playing Sunday. Said no, we're gonna hold you because we got a good divisional matchup. On Thursday, Aaron Jones. And probably not to any fault of his own, but what the hell are we doing? Dylan ain't it.
You had to pick my running back. You had to pick my running back, Latte.
So strange.
You guys are just digging on me.
My running back too. He's my running back.
Why did I show up? Why did I show up for this show? This is ridiculous. This is a public humiliation of my roster. Is what you guys are doing
shaming
right now.
You. He's right. Hey, he's on my team as well. And I have to give an honorable mention, Tony. I hope I'm not stealing yours. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. No. I fired him up this week. It was a great matchup. I thought it was going to be the week. The targets kept going up every week. And what happened to Addison? 1 target, no catches? 0 points? Man. I had to play the guy that had CMC, and I got under 2 points from Aaron Jones and 0 points from my flex and Addison. Floppy flop. What happened?
That Packers game was so weird, too, because Dylan hadn't been getting it done.
Oh.
Expected, obviously, a little more work out of Jones. Nowhere to be found. He had one target, I think, for the game.
One target.
And then on the other side of the ball, Montgomery coming back from injury, you would have thought they would have given him a snap count or something. 30 carries coming back from injury, and the guy looked great. I mean,
what injury?
Yeah, but the Packers, that game got out of hand quickly for them. They're like, what are they going to do? Hand off the ball? I mean,
at Lambeau.
No, but that's the thing, though, Sammer. That's what makes Aaron Jones special, is that he does most of his damage where he can through the passing game. And Love was running for his life, so it was like, it's right there. Just check it down there.
I know, but I think that's what I'm saying is once they pinned their ears back and they got after him, he couldn't see the field, Love. It looked kind of like Jones last night. And no matter what he did, he was going to get sacked like every single play. And then Jones is like, what am I going to do here? And then it got out of hand. The thing with Montgomery, though, it's so surprising. I guess I don't know why people talk so much shit about him. He is effective. I get what you guys are saying with Gibbs, but man, if it's working, why change it? And plus, he's able to kind of carry the load and go forward. No. I think eventually it'll even itself out more because Gibbs is so damn dynamic. But I wonder if it's a pass pro issue. Is it something like that where they're not trusting him?
Issue, but what you say? What's the issue? The issue is, Sammer, that one guy's ADP was in the 3rd round and rose big time. Everyone's expecting Kamara. Everybody's expecting that kind of usage, and then another guy, his ADP was in the 8th round, and it's like an afterthought. Hey, and kudos to him, Montgomery. Holy shit, like, playing great. He's always been a serviceable guy that played behind a crappy offensive line in Chicago that now is playing behind an elite offensive line in Detroit, and he's showing you the kind of talent he has when he has some blocking. Yep. But the disappointment and the outrage is, you took a guy 12th overall.
No,
12th overall. What is going on?
I get all that, but I'm saying there's got to be something that's going on there. And I guess if I'm a Gibbs owner, I have to wait and see.
Oh, you have to.
You have to wait until they trust him in like 2 games in a row at least before you can even confidently play him. Otherwise, you're taking a massive just guess, right? You might as well play someone may only get you 5 as opposed to someone who's probably not going to touch the ball. That's wild. But there's got to be something, right? You don't just pick a dynamic player and not play him. Especially the Lions of old. People made fun of them. They're, what are they doing over there? They're clowns. This looks like they're run by people with brains now. So something's going on there. There's got to be something that he's not doing well enough for them to trust him on the field. I can only think of pass pro because he's a rookie running back. But still, man, there's ways to get 2 running backs on the field. It's not like it's rocket science, right?
Sure.
Tony, we just said we could have 3 running backs on the same play without a quarterback. We're talking about the Niners. So
which hopefully there's something going on behind the curtain, because I know that upset a lot of the Detroit fan base with trying to fix the problems with offense and taking Gibbs, and they look so happy about it, which was also weird. It was like they celebrated like, this is our guy. We came into this draft. We've been in the war room waiting. And then now we're a quarter of the way through the season, really starting to get some numbers on everybody, and not much Gibbs. But like you said, Poppy, Montgomery was a good running back in Chicago. He had a pretty good floor and showed us a good ceiling here and there. And now he's behind a much better line. Yeah, run him. I mean, you got the young rookie. If he needs to study a little bit, let him sit, let him study, run Montgomery into the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, who cares? You got a good backup plan.
Yeah.
Who's your flop, Tony?
So guy that was top last week, Raheem Mostert. I guess the old man needed to rest a little more throughout the week because, man, he really put up a stinker, which was funny because you did say, we corrected the name. Achan still had himself a game. Mostert came out 7 carries for 9 yards.
Wow. Impressive.
9 yards. And had a case of the fumbles. So rough week. Real rough week. It's just an outlier. He's great. The offense is great. He's going to be fine. But real stinker this week, especially, in a game that they really needed him. I know that hurt some people. I know some people went into their matchups with Raheem. I'm going to crush.
I'm going to kill
9 yards.
Yeah. Dude, not only that, man, I was hammering that the Dolphins were going to go to Buffalo and come away with the victory. Like, it was going to be a shootout. I thought so too. I thought everybody was going to get theirs. It was going to be fun to watch.
Don't worry, Sam.
Maybe the Bills win, but like...
Don't worry, Sam. In a couple weeks, a team from Florida is going to go up there and get a victory. Don't worry.
Hey, listen. Everyone is beatable, man. I'm saying, like, after that week with the 70 burger, everybody, including myself, the Dolphins are the kings of the AFC now, folks. Chiefs or not, don't matter. They are the kings of the AFC. Go up to Buffalo, don't play a good game, and the defense of the Bills is like, no. Don't forget about us. We're still the Buffalo Bills. We look like shit in week 1, but here we are, right? Mm-hmm. Look at us. We got playmakers on both sides of the ball, and there you have it. So, and then they've been up and down too. So who knows what could happen in a couple weeks when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, surprise darling of the NFL, travel to Buffalo and say, you know what? We're just gonna hammer. We're just gonna go out there and just outwork you, because that's what we do, right? Speaking of outworking, if you are a fantasy owner who knows what's going on, you're trying to outwork people, and that means you're on that waiver wire, right? That brings us to our next segment, the waiver pickups of week 5. Tony, Latte, let's start at the quarterback position. Who are you guys targeting or telling other fantasy owners, because we're giving free advice here, targeting at the quarterback position heading into week 5 with matchups and bye weeks? Got a big bye week for Justin Herbert for my team, so I'm actually very interested in what you guys have to say for the quarterback position going into week 5.
Yeah, definitely pay attention, guys. We're getting into the part of the season now where we're going to have bye weeks. You want to start looking ahead. You know, we're going to try and stress that as we go along throughout the season, guys, that you should target a week ahead of time. Be a week ahead on your waivers, man. Don't be the one fighting all your league mates over one player, or having to drop all your fab in 1 week just so you can get somebody to fill in. So plan ahead. That said, everybody that we're going to be going over in waiver wire pickups, not going to go over all the percentages. Everybody that we list off is going to be available in at least 50% of leagues. So take a look out there. You know, they should or could be available in your league. If you're in a pretty competitive league, they may not be. So, you know, use your head. Also pay attention. Like we said earlier, you know, we had some start to the week last week that didn't work out because of last-minute quarterback changes or guys that didn't play because of injury. You got to pay attention, because, you know, if our episode comes out Thursday or Friday, it's a long time between then and Sunday.
Hey, guilty, Tony. Guilty. I fired up, loaded up, put in my lineup Jerome Ford, and didn't realize last minute that Deshaun Watson called out of work. And then I was like, oh, I wish I would have, you know, because I wish I would have, taken him out. You're going to play a rookie quarterback.
I'm just laughing the way you phrased it, like you just called out of work. It's so funny that you can actually do that.
Yeah.
So getting into it, the guy that has officially won the rookie sweepstakes, in my opinion, CJ Stroud, he's still available. Widely available out there, and this kid's a real quarterback, man.
Real deal.
I don't really want to rehash this weekend too much.
I wonder why.
But yeah, I mean, the kid's throwing for over 300 yards and 2 touchdowns every week. He's good, and once he's doing that right now, and they're just starting to assemble or realize what they have in this kid. So as they start to learn his nuances, everybody starts to click. The timing comes together. Houston's getting a squad together. You know, they've got to be happy down there, man. It's been a rough go for a while. The Bill O'Brien days were painful.
Playing with house money too, Tony. They don't have to win. They're not expected to win. They're putting their team together. They have like a 2-3 year window with their new staff and everything, and now they're doing well right off the bat. So. And I told you last week, whatever the Texans are serving up on that plate, I am eating it up right now.
CJ is going to be a keeper for you. You know, if he's out there, you can grab him, stash him. You know, you're going to be able to fill him in throughout the year. Definitely playing matchups. One guy that's going to be decent this upcoming week, I think, if you've got a bye week you're dealing with, Josh Dobbs. Josh Dobbs is putting up serviceable numbers. They're finding a way to compete in Arizona with less than ideal situations. I've always kind of liked Josh Dobbs, man. I was disappointed when he was able to leave Pittsburgh and we ended up keeping Mason Rudolph. I mean, I don't even want to have a guy on my team that's dumb enough to fight Myles Garrett with no helmet on.
Bro, no.
You know? So I'm glad that he got to go somewhere and he got to show that he can play ball. And I think they've got a couple of pieces there that are worth taking a look at too. We'll talk about a few others. So Josh Dobbs versus Cincinnati this upcoming week, good streamer. Also, Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford is still available out there, and I know on paper it doesn't look pretty. It's kind of hard, and Stafford has had a few weeks for fantasy that haven't been great. He's given you something, but it's not league-winning weeks. But they're starting to click. They've got some talent there. They're going to have more pieces coming back. He is a little banged up after this week, but he's going to be good to go. Philly's really not playing ball very well, and they're going to be at home. So that would be one to think about. And lastly, another kid that's putting up decent numbers would be a good streamer this week, especially with who they're playing. Sam Howell. Sam Howell came out and proved a point this last weekend that he is trying to make a mark. The kid's got numbers. He had a bad week 3, wash it off, come back out, play ball, and that's what he did. And you know who he's playing this week? Chicago's. That's going to be the Thursday night game.
Garbage.
Prime, got the big lights on you. I think, they're playing at home versus a team that is beatable for sure. I think they come out, and I'm firing everybody up on Washington.
You firing up Jahan Dotson over Addison or Flowers?
I would flex him. Trying to think. Who's Minnesota playing?
I'll tell you right now.
I don't think I'd play anybody who's playing with that Kirk Cousins character. Sorry.
They're playing Kansas City.
For fantasy,
Kansas City.
It's been good. Kansas City.
Corners over there. Paying attention to Justin Jefferson for sure. And they're going to have to put points.
Oh, no, I'm not playing him over Flowers.
Nope.
No,
I was going to ask you guys, Tony, a guy that is, I believe, available in every single league in the entire universe, Zach Wilson, played a pretty damn good game against the Kansas City Chiefs, and is facing...
have your fucking...
Hold on.
Did you guys have a moment where you thought they were actually going to do it?
Yeah, I did.
I did, actually, and I thought they could have because their defense played worldly. But I'm going to, he's facing the Denver Broncos, who made Justin Fields look like an NFL quarterback this past Sunday, and Zach Wilson... looks like he's got a little bit of confidence. They've changed some things up for him. Is that a guy that you could possibly...
I'm too much of a coward.
I don't trust it, man.
I don't know, man. It's 32nd ranked defense.
I don't
have
the balls to do that, bro.
They're going to be 30... After that Dolphins game, they're going to be 32nd ranked all season. It's going to be hard to get out of that spot.
I don't know, man. I'm looking at him. He's available. I got my boy Justin Herbert sitting down. I was like, you know what, man? If I'm going to do something wild, makes sense to go Zach
that's
Wilson.
wild.
Oh, it's wild.
That's absolutely break glass in case
he's got
of
some.
emergency.
He's got Breece Hall. He's got some guys, dude. He's got some guys that throw the ball to that the Broncos don't know how to contend with.
No, it's not as wild. I started Minshew when Jalen Hurts got hurt last year in the game before the championship, and I went to the championship, started Minshew, and I thought that was pretty bold. I thought that was pretty bold. This is a whole nother level of bold, bro.
It's different, yeah. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Hey.
Going Minshew into the I've had to, because of injury, I've had to start Jay Cutler in a championship before. I mean, I'm talking wild card.
Yeah.
But Zach Wilson,
it might work out for you, and if it does, you're a god, bro.
I mean,
I think I'm gonna do it. I really think
it can make you look real good.
Really,
I will say, Justin Fields is leaps and bounds a better quarterback than Zach Wilson.
I get that, but you watch what he did when they changed the things up a little bit to make him a little bit more confident, give him some easier passes. He's got a dog at wide receiver. He's got 2 dogs at running back, especially one of them who's amazing out of the backfield. And it's the Denver freaking Broncos. The backup unit for the Dolphins scored points on them at will.
Tony,
okay, I'm doing it. That's it. Zach Wilson, my pickup of the week.
I'll put it like this.
Doing it.
Jesus, easy there.
Doing it. Doing it, dude.
Listen, my thing is I have full confidence in firing up Garrett Wilson this week against that defense.
Yeah.
So if I have confidence in Garrett Wilson with his 14 targets and 9 catches last week, then who's throwing him the ball?
Who's throwing him the ball, Latte? Exactly. I mean, you're just selling this for me right now. I'm in, dude. I'm in.
That is bold.
Hey, Hey, we talked about Javonte Williams. See you, dude. I'm letting you go, and I'm gonna pick up one Zach Wilson.
No, don't drop Javonte. Whoa.
I'm kidding.
Oh,
Right,
relax. That's not the advice.
I have nobody to cut on this team because I have guys like Gabe Davis just riding my pine, and they and he.
Whoa.
I'm just saying.
Pause.
Yeah, pause. Pause there, buddy. Hit the pause button, please. No, hey, that guy's just getting 14, 15, 16 points a week just sitting on the bench, man. I don't know what to do with the guy. So
yeah, we need to go over we need to take a look at your league and
trade scenarios.
Trade targets.
Yeah, there you go.
Listen, I'm not against it. I'm not against starting Zach Wilson. I'm not against it.
I'm doing it, man. I don't care what you guys say. I'm doing it. I'm going to cut somebody on this team. I'll go in with no defense. I can't get rid of Matt Gay, obviously, but I'm putting Zach Wilson in, baby.
Let the kicker go, bro.
No. Matt Gay had a bad week because of the Rams, not because of him. All right, guy's got a leg of steel. All right. Anyway, let's go into the running back waiver pickups of the week.
I'm going to start. Tony,
Latte.
You can take this one. No, Tony, you can take running backs. I'll do wide receivers, tight ends, and then the streamer defense. But yeah, go ahead. I'm going to fire too. I got to get to an event.
So running backs, Justice Hill, he's also going to be available out there. He's available in a lot of leagues right now. I'm not saying it's a great scenario in Baltimore. You do lose a lot of work to Lamar, but Baltimore's running the ball more than anybody. They're second most rushing team in the NFL right now. They're going to be at Pittsburgh. People have been finding ways to get around Pittsburgh. I mean, our defense is good, but we're still getting beat. So Justice Hill, if you need somebody to fill in, wouldn't be too bad. Might be able to stash him for some, squeaky plays here in the next couple of weeks. One guy that's getting some attention here, and this is going to be worth paying attention to, Jaleel McLaughlin. Yeah, they're going to be playing the Jets, so it's not going to be a great week. If Javonte does miss, it's going to be a tough game. The Jets have got a great defense, and they've really been putting it on pretty much all season so far. So a rookie getting out there and performing well, he got thrown out there in a pinch this last week. A lot of times when those guys know that they're toting the rock the whole game, eyes are on them. Can be a little rough, but who knows? Could be a star in the making. So worth a look. And if Javonte does miss more time, he's going to be much better in some other matchups going forward. Another guy that I talked about last couple of shows, we did see King Henry wake up this past week, but we still saw a good workload for Tajay Spears, and he's finding his way. He's not doing anything prolific yet, but he's getting more and more work, and they're still using him. Even this last week when Henry went off and did his thing, they're still getting him out there for pass plays. He's still getting I think he had 46% snap share in the backfield this week. So they're going to be at Indy. Indy's kind of a middling defense. He's worth a shot. And another guy might be a little bit of a rough week for him also. Roschon Johnson, running back for the Chicago Bears. If they start to get things together,
they won't.
He's worth a stash. So if you got some room on your bench, you're not looking for anybody, it's not a dire situation this week, Roschon's worth a stash. Put him back there, see what develops.
Their best running back takes the snap. So
I agree.
Yeah.
Herbert had a game, but I agree. I would stash Roschon.
Wide receivers.
I like those wide receivers. I'm gonna go Jameson Williams. Tony, he's coming off suspension. He adds another element to that offense. Everybody's worried, Amon-Ra and Laporta, who I have in love, and Gibbs out the backfield, et cetera. But what Jameson brings is that explosive over the top. So I don't think they're going to affect each other, Amon-Ra and Jameson. Jameson's actually going to open it up more for Laporta and Amon-Ra underneath. So if he's still available, because he was supposed to be suspended for 1 week, I'd pick him up. Marvin Mims starting to get more involved. There's even been rumors of trading Jerry Jeudy, which if they do, holy crap. I would pick up and stash Marvin Mims. Michael Wilson, I'll let you talk about that because I have no idea who Michael Wilson is. I'm going to be completely transparent.
Michael Wilson, rookie for Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he's putting up great numbers. Kid's breaking out. He's had 2 great weeks. He's had a couple of really splashy plays that shows he's got the athleticism. And like I said, they're getting some chemistry going over there. You know, they're just kind of that you know, what do you call it? The ugly duckling, you know, right now, where they're doing what they're not supposed to be doing. And Michael Wilson's a rookie. He don't care. He's just getting out there and trying to play ball. He doesn't care what the rest of the team looks like. It's like, I'm trying to make a name. So I really like
saying when you don't know any better, you just play ball.
Yeah.
He doesn't know anybody. He doesn't know the moment that he's in or the opportunity. He's just playing ball.
He doesn't know what he doesn't know.
Exactly.
And it's so nice for guys, especially in Arizona, you know, Josh Dobbs, Michael Wilson, all these guys, when it's not expected of you, it makes it easier. You know, because nobody's expecting you to go out there and perform. Nobody's here crushing you on social media. Yeah,
we know here in Tampa all about that. Everybody, you know, Tom Brady. We're going to stop talking about the Bucs, I promise. The next one is Tyler Boyd, and I love this one, Tony. It's a sneaky one. This is a sneaky one. Tyler Boyd, you know, veteran receiver, knows what he's doing, has chemistry with the quarterback. Knows how to be a pro, knows how to get open. And with that T. Higgins injury we talked about earlier with the broken ribs, he's probably going to be out for a little bit or be banged up, not be 100%. And Tyler Boyd has made noise before with this offense and Joe Burrow. So I like that pickup. And then I'm going to move over to tight ends. Jake Ferguson. Love me some Jake Ferguson. Targets are nice. Dak likes to go to his tight ends. I just like the name. He's athletic. He gets a lot of red zone targets. Jake Ferguson just rolls on the tongue right.
Dak is a huge fan of tight ends. I am as well.
Yeah.
I was going to say he's a big fan, and I believe they're in San Francisco this week, which is going to be a tough game for Dallas. He's going to be a safety blanket.
Big time. And then the next one is Luke Musgrave. Hell of an athlete. Holy crap, hell of an athlete. I think he's kind of like a secret. I don't know of a better, you know, flying under the radar, a better term to use. Love has missed him. And on some seam balls where he was going to house a 70-yard touchdown. Super athletic, again, safety blanket. I would pick him up. I love the art.
I believe he's still in protocol though. I believe so. Something to keep an eye on.
I pick him up.
Yeah. Just keep an eye on it.
What Tony's saying, if you're going to pick him up to try to stream him this week, keep an eye on it because he might not make it out of the protocol. And then my defense for the week that I've been attacking, the one that I'm going after this week to stream because my Buccaneers are on a bye week. I'm going for Detroit, baby. That defense looked like they were absolutely hair on fire last week against Green Bay, and they're playing the Carolina Panthers with a rookie quarterback who can't see over his offensive lineman. Hutchinson's going to eat. I can't wait.
Wait,
Detroit's they're available out there. Pick them
or
up.
the Dolphins playing Carolina?
Detroit's playing Carolina.
Dolphins play Carolina next week. Which would be a good pickup. If you're following our advice and you're trying to pick up a week ahead for your defense, for your kickers, for your streaming quarterback, Dolphins play Carolina next week, and that's a pretty good matchup. And there's a lot of pretty straightforward, cut and dry matchups next week. So it's as far as you got good defenses playing bad teams. Defenses that are already scooped up in a lot of leagues, so it's going to be a little tough next week. You don't want to be fighting over a defense. There's another one too. Texans are going to be playing New Orleans, and after what we saw this last weekend, Texans have got a quiet, good defense, especially their secondary. They are going to, I mean, if we see the same Derek Carr, oh boy.
It's not just that. They don't protect him very well. They've given up, I think, like 14-something sacks now already in the season.
It's not just that. Their offense is schematically horrible.
Boring, very stagnant. I was going to say, we shifted from anyone who plays the Cardinals at the beginning of the season to anyone who plays
New Orleans,
the Carolina Panthers.
Or the Bears.
Or, I mean, I don't know, man. You wouldn't have thought that the Broncos would look that bad against Justin Fields, but they did, which is why I think Zach Wilson is my dude this week, you guys.
All
right.
Hey.
The more I'm thinking about it, the more it makes sense.
We're going to have a show again on Thursday. I can't wait to see if Samper actually picks up on waivers. And I can't wait for the next week's show to see if he actually plays them. This is gonna be great homework. Oh my god!
Listen, I think,
bro. I got a feeling.
I got a feeling too, man. I got a feeling he's gonna ball. He looked great. I saw some stuff from him. I was like, this guy looks like an NFL quarterback. Everybody's patting him on the back. The defensive players from the other team coming in post-game interviews patting him on the back. Everybody is giving him flowers that don't even need to be given to him yet. This guy is going to hit the freaking moon, all right? You know what to say? You can't reach for the stars unless you at least try or whatever it is. Or if you reach for the stars, you'll land amongst them or whatever the hell that phrase is.
Okay, he's going to hit the moon with a can of corn.
He's going to hit it, all right? He's going to hit it maybe 1 week out of all 17 or 18, sorry. No, 17. But he's going to do it this week, and it's going to be against the Denver Broncos, all right?
I don't know, man. Hey, there's no Taylor Swift. No Taylor Swift looking in the building this time.
Less pressure. Less pressure.
That might have elevated his play.
No, that didn't elevate his. Listen, we all know what his flavor is, all right? It's a MILF. It ain't no Taylor Swift.
Right.
She don't have enough kids for him to get excited about, okay? That's how it works. And you know what? There's a lot of moms.
A mommy stealer, for sure.
There's a lot of moms in Denver. A lot.
A lot of
I don't know if the game's even in Denver. There's not much else to do up there. I'll tell you that much.
Did you guys hear like the statistics and stuff they were talking about since this whole union started? With her fans roll deep, and what was it? Kelsey got like 800,000 followers
800,000 followers in a week
because of him. 40% uptick in jersey sales.
Yeah. It's insane.
Imagine if the Chiefs release a Swiftie jersey, like a number 0 or a number 1.
Oh my God! Stop. If they're not, you're missing so much NFL? Meat on the bone.
Or an 87, 87 with the back that says Mr. Swiftie.
Oh my God!
Oh, those guys that do those knockoff jerseys on like media platforms.
The NFL actually tweeted out or X'd out or whatever it's called nowadays. It was something from the NFL account that said something like like paying homage to the Swifties, and bro, there was a meltdown. They had to take it down. Like NFL fans were like, "It's fucking good, bro.
Good. It's 1,000% a marketing ploy, right? The first commercial of that game was
I told Sam that. Yes.
Yeah, the thing about our concert movie thing, whatever the hell it is. And I'm like, listen, I get it. He's got a girlfriend, great. He's got a romantic. Like, I don't need to know about it every play. Like, why do we need to go to her after a Zach Wilson pass? Why do we need to go to her when the Jets punted? Like, oh, look, Taylor really approves of the punt. I don't give a crap. I don't care. I don't want to ever care. Anyway,
I don't care.
The only thing it means to me is that I know in like another 8 months, we're going to have to endure all the news about some new Heartbreak album.
That's the whole point. She only dates men to come up with content for her music. That's the whole purpose of her dating life. It's not to love or find love. She's finding money. She's finding albums.
I can hear it now. You catch touchdowns, but you dropped me.
She's going to talk about how he'll never be Gronkowski. That's what her song is going to be all about. That's what she's going to sing about.
Hey, there it is, Sammer. There it is. You catch touchdowns, but you dropped me. You'll never be Gronkowski.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious what's happening here, right? Anyway, before we wrap up, let's go quickly through the Thursday matchup so Latte can get out of here because he's got himself a future star, right?
Gotta go.
He's got concerts that are coming up as well. Anyway, Thursday matchup, Chicago travels to Washington. The most boring, I don't want to watch this game at all. Yeah, I'm not interested.
I'm going to watch it. It's because it's in 4K. And football in 4K is fucking hard.
And it's got all those crazy analytics on those 13 channel options that you can watch Amazon on with all the analytics. So for all the fantasy people like Tony and you guys, that's awesome. So Chicago, Washington, real quick. Latte, go.
Oh, shit.
Tony, go.
Chicago, you're going to fire up Justin Fields, right? Had a great first half last week and then melted down in the second half. Don't know what happened. It seems like it's still his upload. There's a problem with the file. Uploading. I don't know what's going on. Great first half.
Broken.
Felt, or whatever. Chase Claypool, stay away from the team. You're going to fire up, DJ Moore and all the regular options.
Chase Claypool, as of this morning, is probably getting released.
Oh, good, because they told him to stay away from the team. Yeah. But good for him. Go be a model or something like he wants to be. As far as Washington, you're firing up everybody. Sam Howell legitimately is a streamer option this week. Scary Terry, Dotson, I hope he shows up with the ADP I took him. Brian Robinson, great matchup. I'm firing him up this week. So yeah, you're firing up with the regular options, and I'm going Washington. And I think they beat the shit out of the Bears.
Yeah, and if you're kind of in that flea market realm of tight ends, Logan Thomas might be a decent fill-in this week. I mean, everybody's put up some kind of line against Denver. So,
and listen, like Tony said, if you're bargain shopping, not everybody has Laporta.
Yeah, listen, real quick before we go out, Tony. Sam Howell's available in my league, all right? And I got Scary Terry sitting on my bench. I got a problem with Justin Herbert on a bye week, and I got Mike Evans on a bye week. Should I just get Howell and put those two together and
yeah, man. Howell's probably a better option than Zach Wilson. But
I don't know, man.
Yes. Especially if you have, dude, if you're able to assemble a stack,
yeah, you do it
in your bye week.
You do it
yeah,
against Chicago's defense. You're doing it.
I know, but it's the Denver Broncos. 70 points. They made Justin Fields look like a quarterback and not just a running. Yeah, no, man.
Hey,
it's gonna be tough.
Hey, squeeze them tutties. Later.
Squeeze them tutties. Hey, thank you for watching. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Leave your comments leading up to our next show so we can answer your lineup questions. Go Zach Wilson. Tutties bouncing out.
Bouncing out.
Don't take Zach Wilson.